That's right.
Yeah, I'm thinking that wouldn't have been caught.
Oh,
Sorry.
Yeah,
I just texted.
exactly.
I was just texting.
That's great. I'm glad
You can ignore that.
it can only be caught by a human eye.
If we were going to ask,
That means we're not replacing. Sorry, guys.
That's right.
we're down.
It wouldn't be caught by my
What difference?
because I missed it.
What's up? I got a bunch of other stuff I gotta hang up.
Where do
in
you
the,
see us
the
going?
pitching.
How do we get in your vision?
Good deal.
That's what you got.
Yeah, I love those onions.
Some change. Yeah,
Julie, how are you doing?
right.
I was gonna say,
And she was an engineer.
where's Lindy in there?
I don't know.
We have these folks.
I didn't hear anything that he wasn't coming.
She was, I don't know where she was from, India or something. So there's a language.
Yes. Yeah.
And their names are,
Couple minutes yet.
I can text him.
she would spell it differently every time she wrote it or typed it. I think it was a language thing or something.
Right.
Every time she
Yeah,
typed
we
the name,
have
she
no
typed it
idea.
wrong.
Oh,
Every time she told us how to spell it, she
that's,
spell it wrong. So I don't know if there's some translation problem between their letters and our letters,
yeah, we can't do that either.
but it,
We really can't do that.
That is.
Right. Figure it out.
yes, we do.
Nice.
Here.
I was just trying to
Bye.
get efficient. I try and keep my word down. Not yet, but
We're missing.
we should. We're after the. We are ready to go.
Look at that.
Waiting to see if Brenda.
I just started to text him. He shows up. Good evening. How are you? Good.
I've got for you.
All right, we'll have a call to order. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Benitez,
Present.
Mr. Axiotis,
Here.
Ms. Persino, Mr. Rufner,
Present.
Ms. Stimpert.
All right, do we have any changes to tonight's agenda? Please.
I do. I'd like to add a motion to tonight's agenda to reappoint Brian Kropp to the Planning and Zoning Committee effective 1/1/2025 and lasting for a term of 5 years, expiring on 12/31/2029.
I'll second.
Mr. Axiotis and Mr. Rufner. Yep.
Discuss.
You just, yeah. discussion.
No discussion. No, I'm sorry.
Oh, no discussion.
Just real quick, just for verification, that is the renewal of the current position that he's in, correct?
Correct. We appointed him a couple meetings ago. They've not had a meeting since he's been appointed. It was expiring on the 31st, so I reached out to him, spoke with him. He was interested in continuing on, so.
Copy. Thank you.
Mr. Axiotis,
Yes.
Mr. Rufner,
Yes.
Ms. Stimpert,
Yes.
Ms. Benitez.
Yes.
Passed 4-0.
Please, Ms. Julie.
I would like to add a motion to accept the resignation of Brenda Persino for Ward 3 council seat.
I'll second that.
Ms. Stimpert and Mr. Axiotis. Discussion.
Just according to our charter, Mr. Acomb is responsible to advertise for that seat. Just to clarify, what's the time frame for that? What does that look like? One-
I think it can happen as soon as, if council accepts the resignation, we can post it within the week.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Mr. Rufner,
Yes.
Ms. Stimpert,
Yes.
Mr. Axiotis,
Yes.
Ms. Benitez.
Yes.
Pass 4-0. Both of those motions will be added to new business.
All right, public comments, agenda items only, limited to 3 minutes. You have any takers? Okay. All right, item 7, motion to recess into executive session. This is a motion to enter into executive session for the purpose of interviewing candidates for, number 1, the Newton Falls Joint Fire Board, and number 2, the position of police chief, with action to be taken on the Newton Falls Joint Fire Board position only afterwards.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Ms. Stimpert and Ms. Benitez. Mr. Rufner,
Yes.
Ms. Stimpert,
Yes.
Mr. Axiotis,
Yes.
and Ms. Benitez.
Yes.
Pass 4-0, 6:07.
Ball bearings? Finding your bearings?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's okay. I have good company. Well, there's really no. History there. Didn't hear anything really. That one either.
Hmm?
That one either.
Nothing good.
And that one.
This one?
This one, no. They say he just doesn't have enough experience politically. This one.
All right, Mike took care of it. All right.
I almost feel like maybe both of those should have been via telephone.
Well,
You know?
they like to do that. They like to do them in person when they can. And if they can't, then they don't want to reschedule, so they're like, can we do it on telephone?
But I think that might have been better. Allowed in those offices unless an employee, current employee, drifters come in and out of their room in that room. It's like, come on. Well, technically, he's kind of he's an exception to the rule. He wanted cookie.
He was escorted by you.
And he wanted a cookie. He said he wanted a
He boss.
I haven't got
If I want to
make an exception.
make an exception, just damn good pizza.
They just get all prissy. They don't do the embarrassing. They just like, listen, I wanted a cookie. Next time I'll just make cookies.
Keep extra cookies around. It'll be fine. If you're gonna give to one, you have to give to all.
Listen, there's always something around it. And cookies included. And I go watch some TV in my office or something.
Good.
I didn't realize it was that
I
long.
got a few things to handle here, and then I'm gonna shop for tires.
Ooh, tires.
My daughter needs to brakes and tires.
I love that it's like, when, especially no matter what their age, it seems like you inherit the vehicle because you bought it, but it remains yours. I finally just, my oldest daughter finally just bought her own car. Her own insurance. That's a thing.
Get ready to have that discussion. I have three drivers. One's in college. She's employed, and she works. They all work.
Yeah, yeah. I ended up
I'm like,
charging
you're
them
gonna have
a
to give me
small
$100 a
amount.
month or something.
Oh man, you're mean. I did 30. But in all
Times have changed.
fairness,
It's inflation.
in all fairness, when I, cause I still have one on there.
I could be
It was
talked
only
into
like 50. It was only like $50 on the insurance because they were all in my name. And so I looked to see what they charged per vehicle, and but I made them pay half what the insurance company charged.
Mm.
That's why it's such a big shock when she gets her own car and it has a loan on it. And so like all of my vehicles are paid for. So and when she loan. And
Right,
so
so it's a difference. Coverage.
you know, like I get full coverage on all the vehicles, but when you have a loan on them, for whatever reason, your premiums are higher. And I think it's because you try to cover the vehicle to help pay off that loan value. They may not give it to you. They may fight you, but that's probably the reason. You know, but she went and it was great. She's like, Mom, it's like it was like $130 a month or something. Like, well, you're doing good. She says it's a second car payment.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, were you told that your car is also being replaced in August? Weird. I told him I wanted them to be sure everything on that tower is backed up to the server, to the cloud, wherever it is going. I don't care. Just
Like I said,
let
they
it
told
go.
him that it was all being backed up to it's already all
Mhm.
being backed up to the cloud. You
Yeah.
just can't.
I don't know how I feel about that. But he did say that tower's gonna have a terabyte data storage.
Okay.
So that should. But I'm like, listen, just take care of it. No, I'm not. He's like, one of them self-reliant because you got one. He's like, mine's old. I don't really care what you do. I'm not approving it. So you need a new one, get it. Because we, like everybody in my house, it started with them. And so now everybody will be on the same platform. And the same replacement schedule. I don't care. If you need it, you need it. It's not worth
Right.
not getting it. You
Yep.
know? It's like, well, there's like external drives and stuff going on over there. I said, I don't want to hear anything about an external drive. Get it all on the computer or in the server somewhere, somehow. I said, all that stuff can fail. He looked at me and said, you're just a worry wart. Then he goes back and orders himself a new computer.
You thought about it on that way back.
Well, it's just like, it's like $1,500. And to me, information is priceless. Some of it's the only copy. Can't I just can't. I said, you're gonna need more storage because some of those records that are in there are gonna get scanned. Just wait. I haven't started that.
It all needs to happen, right?
It does. Now, do I have enough staff to do it that I trust? No. But I think I can do it myself, to be honest with you.
What kind of records we talking?
There are old files over there that are like lifetime records. Say they're income taxes. There's some income tax records over there that need to stay, even though we have Rita doing it. It's Rita. So there's some filing cabinets in those that I think easily could be scanned and just shredded. Things that I have requested. But we have payroll records that are like from the dawn of time until now. Those have to stay. They don't have to stay in that. Scan them and send them out to shred. Because I already have a shredding company. They come every 2 weeks. I could bump it. I need to.
Yeah.
And just get them out of here. They brought them from the building, and that's what's dumped in the server room and in that other room that used to be the finance director's office. They told the old or pre-show analysts here when they came to this building. Fine. I don't know what they pitched. I don't know if they pitched anything. But they're not certified to do that. And I think that's how they ended up in this loop. But there's some things in there that definitely need to be preserved. Old council, if you walk in there, you'll see. They're like turn of the century, handwritten.
What's a scanning service cost?
Said he had somebody approach him, and I don't know where he was, but they said they would charge around $10,000. It's not impossible as far as expenses, but they also don't know the volume of what they're looking at. I asked the shredding company what they would charge to shred the whole thing, and they told me they charge, if they show us the bulk shred, the size of the box and the number of boxes, and they can quote it just to shred. I think that's two totally different services. I don't think the scanning people are going to shred it. They're going to give it back to you, I'm assuming. Old books, they're like the sewn old books. Those old filing cabinets, when they're closed, they collect moisture or else they let them outside. I don't know the true answer, but they're moldy. It's like, this is history. Guys, I don't know what you're doing here, but so they threw them out of the filing cabinet, and they're just like rubbing up against each other and falling apart kind of situation. But those are forever records. I can't get rid of them.
Right.
I think they should go, but behind a glass cabinet and stored that way, like in council chambers or something. On display, nobody really cares, and just lock them in the cabinet so that way they're in a better situation.
Some climate control. Something.
Climate control, but they are absolutely not. Do you want to argue with me between the difference between heating and air conditioning and climate control? I said, do you have a dehumidifier running in there? No, you do not.
No.
If they've already started to mold, then they're going to continue to do so if the moisture levels are too high in that room.
You're right about that.
It's just, they get tired of hearing it.
Must be.
He's the only one. Justin.
he in there? They brought him in?
So is the paper guy not here today?
No, I haven't seen him. A little strange.
He's been every one.
I don't think, I hope he's okay. I don't think he's ever missed.
Really? Oh, okay. Well, he might not feel well. Is it? Yeah, but they're on schedule.
I'm impressed.
Is there only one position on the fire board?
Yes. For Newton, for the village. Then I think there's somebody for the. It's just those two, right?
It's kind of pretty. Oh, no. Or make it hot pink. Nah. It's pretty. Ooh.
How'd you do? Answer most of the questions? Okay. Good luck.
Oh, that's kind of neat. Let's see how. Oh. I think you could buy a whole bunch of these, like, you could be up to no good.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, you can do anything that you want. You can write on them. Not changing the color.
You knew they had that.
Well, I could have not shown up until then. You, on the other hand, you were stuck.
Yeah, I'm stuck. I have it all, my time's already budgeted. Encumbered, as it were.
Encumbered.
Spoken for. I have nothing else to do.
Good luck around here encumbering anything, because it doesn't seem to mean a whole lot.
It doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't seem to work like it's just a... Maybe in a few years. Someone cracks down on it.
That'd be you.
Well, maybe. A method to the madness that Sean was using. It was the exact opposite of Anna. That's still not correct. I just think he did it so he could show things in a different light.
Yeah. Sounds like Sean.
Because if you don't, then you have to be accountable.
Mm-hmm.
So it's better to make it look good. Let's draw a Christmas tree. If a gap was there between when Kathy King was
What's that?
a gap was there between when Kathy King was let go and when you took over.
I think 3 months. February, March, April, about 3 months.
Yeah. In some ways, it's kind of nice, like for those that are from here. You know, they all seem to look out for their own. But does it make it right? Okay. So, yeah. To the utilities department. So, I was like, oh, okay. So I made food. And, hey, do they ever invite you guys to stuff? He's like, yeah, I imagine that they would. Is it okay for mayor? He's inviting everybody in the office for food or coffee. Why are you bloating? So I said, you know, it'd probably be really nice for him to have the space here. That's fine. They called him. until you realize what exactly this is, we don't even do it.
One of the buildings there.
I don't understand what the problem is.
Yours?
What time is that tomorrow night?
I don't know why all of a sudden I'm in the room.
That's before
I said I
we
was shutting up, politely bringing food, and I said, and I'm not sure what exactly the political side of the fence is here, but he seems to be trying to figure out like new people. And I said, but if anybody had said something to me and this was your party, I would never have made plans to come. And I said, and if you had told me, you were not invited, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. But I said, you personally invited me, and I asked the girls that work in the utility department to come. And I feel absolutely horrible. So I called him, I said, please do not show up, because they will be they'll do it to my face, they'll certainly do it to him. I've never been in a city that was so unwelcoming to individuals that aren't from here. But I'll make note of it. It'll never happen again. So take your food and toss it in trash. We'll put it on the table or throw it in the trash. It's either behind the trash or you can shove it up your ass, but I don't care which one. Craven, I was so mad.
That's what I do.
I was so mad.
Well, you don't want me
Just you wait. Just you wait.
coming anyway.
Shut up.
Oh, yeah.
I'll say. Because I'm the one who planned the freaking things. Get hold of the caterer, set the budget, make a purchase order, get him to sign off on it, get him to sign off on the menu. And then he says, well, who said that was okay? I'm supposed to be doing it. I said, then please feel free. It's all you, but I said, well, these places are all booked up. You're more than welcome to, I said, I tried to find someplace local.
Where's it at?
The covered bridge is bringing it in here. They're catering here.
That's what I thought. So come here.
Mm-hmm. Come here. And
Sit in my seat.
no,
No, will this be open? No.
I don't
then
think so.
probably
I
not.
think it'll be out there.
Yeah.
But, I sent a memo out to everybody. Every current employee is invited. I'm not taking sides. I don't really care what the feud is. I don't even know what the feud is. I did nothing, But don't worry, I got him back for that one. I don't care. Some things I just don't care about. I found some things and reversed some things and reclassed some things. It's all right. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
I have.
Did you say you too?
I didn't.
Oh, come on.
I know. I said also turn gray. Because, I'm getting older. I said, I just came in to grab some food. Here we go. She started.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Okay. You get paid last year.
don't?
I'm confused.
Exactly the dollars and cents they pay. Yeah. It happens. They don't care. Like I said, I did a nice audit of his funds. I was like, oh, I found out $90,000 that needed to go elsewhere. So it works out.
What else am I gonna find?
Found some overpayments. Need to turn this by year end. What? You do.
So what does he have to do? It's an overpayment to him?
Oh, or what they said. Well, you know, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this is the end of an audit period, and they're gonna recalculate your salary. They're gonna see it.
Yeah. My fraud training. So that's what. I don't know what your trading told you. Mine tells me.
I told Jeff. I said, I thought some He's like, you did? I said, uh-huh. I said, do you have any experience writing up some legal orders for repayment? He's like, no. I said, you worked in industry. How do you not have any experience?
Come on, buddy.
writing a letter?"
Get one.
I'm
Or order one up through ChatGPT.
Listen, I was trying to be nice. I was looking at it like, well, if it happened before I got here, I don't really care. Let an auditor find it.
I know, but, you know,
Sometimes you can't be nice.
poking the wrong bear.
Problem
The
that's
same
gonna
people will
happen.
be the ones who look at me and go, I said, look, I'll scratch my head unless it itches. I don't dance like that. You wanna tell me that again?
You know,
Because I'm the kind that, you be nasty, you tell me I gotta move fast.
it's just,
Me boss, you not.
I have never.
And I have great relationships with everybody, I really do.
I think everybody
there's
has
just-
one or two.
There's just those one or two. And
Everybody has some.
I'm the guy who has to tell everybody,
Yeah.
straight, skinny. And I don't tell him, I don't pull punch, and I don't sugarcoat it, because I find most people, while they don't like it, they certainly respect it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can help, I help. But, you know, sometimes you get yourself in a situation, I gotta tell you about it.
I just
I
hate
like
it.
to tell them all the time, I go, listen, I'm sorry nobody's ever said this to you before. But I've known you, I've been in the district for so long.
Yeah.
I know everybody pretty much. I just need you to know we've known each other a long time. I'm the only person that loves you enough to tell you the truth. Remember that.
Now, is this your district where you live too?
No.
Okay, so that's probably a good thing. It's probably a good thing.
We talk about moving there, but I was a principal at the time and I wasn't sure I wanted my kids to go through the district because even though it's a great district, what I had seen with other administrators,
They suffer the consequences.
They wouldn't tell you the truth about teachers fabricating and inflating reading data, so they wouldn't have to tell the assistant superintendent that his son needed reading skills.
Depending on the situation you find yourself in, so that's why it's a good thing that you're not there. You know, I watched a treasurer struggle with it. She was raising her kids. Decisions that happened from her office on her children.
I'm invading your space.
Oh,
Just
you're
letting you
all
know I'm here. Did you handed all those out to them guys?
I did.
Okay.
Yep, it's on there. Everybody got a
And I
copy.
don't think they're gonna talk about it or say anything about it today, so I'm gonna go ahead and head home. But eventually it's,
Law director has what you gave me as well.
okay, very good. Thank you.
Yeah,
Have a good night.
absolutely. You too.
Merry Christmas.
Same.
Thank you.
Because when they did it, they didn't notify you. They don't know. So they send it back to planning and zoning for research, investigation, and planning and zoning canceled. Not because of that, but they just haven't held any. So this council is like, planning and zoning has to do the work and make a recommendation to us. Not the opposite. And I think they're right. Like planning and zoning, zoning, researching that. We got part there. You know, they need to research. That happened.
How
No, I
does
think
this
it
guy
happened.
factor into it?
Well, it wasn't this one.
I know, but I'm saying that position.
Not in legal development. It might have gone bad.
So by rezone, what did they do?
Let me look.
Like, did they change them as far as the type of property, or did they?
I think it was like
Residential.
but it would be in here.
You know, whatever the fuck. We can't seem to always find.
I wasn't asked to.
In Torrington,
We
Brownlee.
advertised. made a few changes to the agenda.
Yeah.
Added a motion to,
Brian Kopp was added to planning and zoning for 5 years.
added a motion to She's not here tonight. We were sticking to the schedule, so they should be, if they stick to the schedule, they should be back out here. I don't see them coming back early.
And they've been right on time with everything.
Joint Newton Falls Fire,
There's
two.
two. Yeah, there's two.
And three.
Three for the police. Yeah.
Boss, I misspoke. It happened in 2019. So I have to,
2019.
yeah, so I have to go back.
All through 2023?
No, that was the ordinance number.
Oh, 2019,
2019-23.
23.
I was not, neither was Brad, the law director that I
It
referenced.
was,
Or, yeah, it had to be.
I don't know much about it. I mean, everybody seemed to like him, but that doesn't mean. It's to devalue our property. Hmm. Hmm. Rezone.
4A guy. This is so. have to introduce me to all these people.
Thanks.
If they see them, I want to know.
You don't want to know. He's great. Whenever anybody's at the window giving the girls a hard time on utilities, comes over. That's what you can do.
Where's that go?
I said, well, who's reading it? Rosie and Shannon. I wasn't even in front of the door. I was sitting off to the side. And I put the Christmas tree up there. I cleaned up that lobby. I made it look presentable, cleaned it all up, put the tree up. You guys can have it because you don't have it. I had some machines sitting in this.
No good.
Take it back. I don't need it. I don't have any place to sit. You know, they said, well, you don't need it. Oh, Jamie, you're in some pretty bad shape over there. But nothing bad's ever happened whenever I say I need some security. She weighs like 100 pounds. They were carrying her. Come, rob me. Look at my big bag. I'm sure it's got some cash in it.
Mm-hmm.
Got rid of those. I put in those clear plastic fraud bags that they use at the schools. You probably use them in your cafeteria.
Mm-hmm.
I used those and I told her, I said, tuck them in your purse. Just carry your purse and keep one to your car. I said, do not get out at the bank. Go through the drive-thru and drop that in the tube. Okay.
Party's Friday from 11 to 1.
It is. You
Well,
saw
you guys
it.
deserve it.
Big party. I don't know about that, but entertaining maybe.
I'm sure I'll be entertained.
Yeah, when I drove back, I could see them in that big room, like the big table, where they were all talking about.
Had another half an hour. Yeah.
My grandparents always told me the older you get, the quicker it goes, and they weren't kidding. The
Really?
only year that went slow was 2020 during COVID. I thought that was going to be March and April that year was a nightmare. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
I think it was fast.
I know, it was terrible. It was like, we could still get a paper out, but it was like COVID, obituaries, and even crime was down. But the obituaries were horrendous. There were so many people. I mean, we average about 10 obits per day. Trumbull County about the same for Mahoney, but back then, we were 40 or 50 a day. It was so bad. Now, I don't know if they were all COVID related, because I can't think where's the flu with this or pneumonia.
Well, now, yeah, now that we're all waking up, it's like, is it possible? Maybe some of it was even vaccine injuries, because no one really knows. We were just kind of forced to do these things. I still think that now. I think about all the younger people who are experiencing health problems. Is it just like early onset? Would they have had these problems?
I remember in November, December of 2019, right after Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
I got this world cough, and I could not get rid of it. I think I ever tried every brand Robitussin.
Yeah.
Strawberry flavor was the best, but it was like I couldn't get rid of it. And then by March, when it started, that everyone was getting COVID and closer here. So I thought, I wonder if I had something
did.
beforehand.
I got it about the same time. And then I'm like, was it really the flu? I don't ever remember. You see the commercial where the people are like, oh, I had the flu. I've never had the flu like that. So I was like, oh, I must have gotten the flu finally, like that. No, I really think everybody really already had it. And so
Just
then,
didn't know what it was.
right, and then everyone was rushed into getting vaccines. But we had already had it. Our immune systems were probably good. But we just got scared.
And I remember going to the grocery store, and that it was more common.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know Dave's there.
Yeah, this is, okay, come on back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're sticking to the schedule pretty close.
All right. Well, they had a lot to do. 5 candidates for 3 for 1 position.
Yeah, yeah.
We were talking about how before COVID, how long that year flew, but this year flew by, but COVID year took forever to get through. But I remember being sick in 2019 really bad. Couldn't get rid of coughs and everything, and then I think I had it before they started calling it COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I think so too. I still can't believe that there were 40 to 50 obits though. That's kind of scary.
Our obituaries peaked in March and April. We averaged about 2020. Yeah, by March and April, people were holding them for weekends, especially for Easter, and we just had a whole section of obits, people of all ages. It was so
Remember, they
sad.
wouldn't let you have any funerals or anything.
No, you're right.
That was horrible. I felt so sorry for anyone that went through anything like that. Because we kind of had a grandma that she tested positive for COVID, but she never had any symptoms. And she had gone in for something completely unrelated, and the hospital had checked her for that. And they ended up sending her into like a rehab facility. Nobody was allowed to visit her, nothing. She had no symptoms, but she had to keep testing, and they kept her isolated. She was in her 80s. They kept her isolated in one of the sickest places, and it's like, but she's always had heart problems, and she's since passed away, not from COVID, and not from
I
that.
remember during this whole time, the rest of the surgery, hip or knee,
Yeah.
they kind of kept postponing it, and they finally did it like in the summer, but it was
Couldn't get
Still
anything
room.
done. Yeah.
oh, I don't ever go through that. That was
I'm hoping maybe communication will be better. Maybe you won't feel like completely like the rug's pulled out from underneath you.
well, we just finished doing our top 10 stories. We're doing 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
I was lucky. I got a good one, the eclipse. I
Oh.
got to do the eclipse.
Oh,
for
that's
April
cool.
8th, so
That was good.
fun, and it lived up to the hype. All these astrologers.
Oh, yes.
Astronomy people said it lived up to its hype.
That was really cool. And that was a really cool.
I don't know if you live here. One of the Mahoney counties, the deer thing in Oak Creek Park, that was a top story.
Oh, I don't live in Mahoney County. I live in Columbiana County.
Okay.
But that's interesting.
Sadly, the top story of the year was the explosion in downtown Youngstown, that bank building.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, that was
Yeah.
awful. I think the election, at least in Trumbull, I don't know about your county, the
Yeah, I think both of those counties turn. Columbiana County's always red.
Oh, okay.
It's very rare for a Democrat to be successful there. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but kind of like sit on its own like an island. I can tell you the county government there is definitely different. Because I audited Mahoning County, and I've been in and out of Trumbull County. Columbia County.
Is that where, yes, we saw them on the news all the time. I had never heard of that place, never been there.
That was one of my audits too, the Village of East Palestine.
One of my friends is the superintendent down there,
Okay.
Rook. And
Mhm.
he was a principal there, I think, and now he's a superintendent, but
Wow.
he was at the Trumbull County Educational Service Center. He wanted out of there for some reason, now he's down there.
Terrible timing.
Yeah, that's not the best time, I think financially they're not doing well.
Well, they will be. They will be. Can they manage it?
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know, because all of that was supposed to settle. It was supposed to be done by the end of this year. And I think the municipality was included in any restitution from Norfolk
Oh,
Southern.
okay.
However, they had one person file either a complaint or some sort of judiciary action blocking it. One individual.
And when I meant finances, it wasn't the schools,
Yeah.
it's more the community,
Yeah.
village or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
itself is worse off.
They were always like that, but they won't be.
I
They
kind
won't.
of like the mayor, he was a character, he would be on TV, I thought he was very personable.
Yes,
He was
yes.
different.
Their finance director is one of the best I've ever seen.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what's happening?
She's been there for a very long time, and she's always like the one, if you ever had questions or something about any place, she would help you understand things. So she's
Good.
So I think overall, they would probably not only benefit from the extra money, because real estate there's not necessarily the best for them to get a lot of money, but they could keep a hold of it, you know. But then again, a lot of people.
Well, he has trouble just having financial nightmares buying a township. Is that a township or a fight with the county auditor? We had a school district where we had.
Sorry.
You're good.
They gave a contract to a former treasurer and it was written that he would get a certain percent of the total budget. I don't know if they didn't realize what they were doing and then the bonus was like 200 some thousand.
No way.
Like, oh yeah.
Where was that at?
Yeah, if you Google it, you'll find it. Yeah, they wrote something in the contract that it's 1 or 2% of the total budget. It's part of his agreement. I'm like, well, didn't somebody read this over? Oh, you heard of this? And I mean, I like the guy. He was very nice to work with, and he finally did resign. But I'm like, didn't we look this over, like some attorney or something? I mean, I would ask questions because I don't have a financial background. But as a board member, what does this mean?
Yeah,
We were shocked. I was like,
that's crazy.
because even when I saw the original contract, I didn't pay attention. I just saw what his
Yeah.
salary would be and blah, blah, blah.
So he got that in addition to a regular salary? Really? Wow. I'm not a very good negotiator, to tell you.
No, they always, the residents were up in arms, the teachers union and the non-teaching union were up in arms.
Yeah.
But then the teachers got a pay increase, so they kind of shut up.
You know, I'm here for the experience more than for the pay, I have to say. I just wanted a challenge.
Well, when I report on all the other people who get the, I said, oh my gosh, I said, if they knew how high other professionals have it, we would love to get, like, there was some school district that was gonna give them $200 bonus if they didn't miss any school days throughout the entire year.
Yeah.
Now, they made exceptions for a few of them, but
Right,
I
right.
guess sometimes they can't get replacement substitutes.
Yeah.
I know they can't get bus drivers.
Substitute pay for a teacher position, well, the requirements are pretty high, because you have to have your bachelor's degree in something, right? And then you have to be an approved substitute, so the board has to approve you, so you have to be on that list. But the pay's not that great. What is the pay where you're at for a sub teacher? Is it 125, 150?
125.
Well, that's
I just recommended we increase to 135.
But is it because teachers have to go to a lot of combination.
It depends on the district. It could be both.
Because I know a lot of teachers say they're required to go do, like elementary teachers, they have to get this dyslexia training.
There's a crazy amount of training that goes into what they call the science of reading now,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everybody's required to get it.
Because when I was in school, I was in school in the 1970s and 80s. If you asked me to name a single substitute, I can't remember it.
Right.
Once in a while, we had somebody's mom. She would fill in. Usually it was like another teacher who was covering for that teacher.
Or a principal would step in, yeah. See, it's just, now I think between the training and just like the lower wages, the limited list of individuals available, and the amount of work that even falls on the substitute, they just don't have, doesn't attract a whole lot of people.
Substitute bus drivers, but regular bus drivers. Every school district I go to, you can't get bus drivers. And I've heard the secretary of one district, she'll leave at the beginning of the day or the end of the day and go drive a bus. Then she works in the office as the secretary. Then she goes back out in the afternoon, so she's secretary / bus driver.
See, that's a good person to have though, because even if she was just filling in for a bus driver, sometimes, I mean, you can't find somebody, They don't pay very much either.
I run the face of them, whether you're the secretary, the principal, the superintendent, the teacher, the librarian, or the cook, your back is
Yeah.
and there's no seatbelts on buses. You see these kids in a puddle and they're flying out the ears.
That hasn't changed. Yeah.
Oh, I remember when we were in junior high, our bus driver, he would get so mad at stuff and the kids were misbehaving. It was more like 9th graders or 10th graders who hadn't learned to drive a car yet, so they'd be off with us. And he'd just pull them over the car, bus over, and hand out the pink slips.
See, Mike wouldn't want to hear my solution to bus driver shortage.
What is it?
That you have to pay them for an 8-hour day. Because you split the day, they have to be there in the morning and the afternoon, and there's all this downtime, but it's not enough time to have a second job. Not really, unless you have some flexible schedule. But you expect them to be there in the morning and the afternoon, and for field trips and other things that go on, athletics or otherwise.
COVID covered all the field trips.
But you know what I mean? It's like that downtime just isn't enough. Or you give them some other position in the school to compensate them for.
A lot of drivers can piece together a whole day if they do like a midday, if there's some kind of a midday run.
Well, some pick up the kids at the career center here.
Yeah.
They'll run out there and
Yeah, and they
get
can-
1:30 or 2 o'clock, and then they have to get back to the main school.
Mhm.
Are you a superintendent or a principal somewhere?
Me?
Yeah.
I would be equal to like an assistant superintendent. So I oversee all of this in my district.
Oh, yeah, so you know what they're all going through. Like I said, every school board I go to, they can't get bus drivers,
Yeah.
let alone substitute bus drivers.
I think that's a tough one.
Now, they're always able to get buses through this state co-op thing. They always are able to get 72 passenger buses.
Yep, figure that out.
Yeah, the buses have been.
We did a
figured
neat
out.
thing where they did like a community event. We invited the community in to test drive a bus. Take the fear out of it. And so we put onboard instructors in there with them and let them drive a route that went through one of our parking lots. We hired like 8 people from that event.
Wow.
Interviewed them right on the spot, got them into training.
Are they still standard, or do they have automatic school buses?
Oh, they're like driving a car now. They're
Are they?
automatic,
Oh,
yeah.
that's perfect.
It ain't
'Cause that
like the
would've
old
been my
days,
issue.
you know, when the gear shift
Grinding
was
the
so
gear.
big and had
Yep.
red and green buttons and
Yeah.
yellow buttons, and it was
Yeah.
a skill.
Uh-huh.
You don't have to have that now.
Oh, it's all. Oh. That means you could do it.
I could, if I had my CDL, my passenger endorsement, but I don't.
The Gray School is in Trumbull, and I heard a training there, deal with somebody, a student or somebody that I heard down on the bus.
Mm.
But when the person was trying to get on the bus driver said, oh, then he or she's not getting in, and I'll run them over.
Oh, wow.
But you know, they say they don't have any trouble once the kids are on the bus, but they've gone to pick the kids up at the bus stop, and some angry parents had it, their son or daughter is being bullied or trying to get on the bus to cause an uproar, and they're saying, no, you need to call the school, we can't let you on this bus.
That's crazy. That's
Well,
really.
it was just sad, there was something you have
Yeah, that was at,
Constantly.
yeah, Christian. It was a Christian school. A young girl at that.
Yeah, it did, it definitely broke from the pattern. You
Yeah.
don't usually see.
The police reports, I just roll my eyes. I get more shocked at the stupid stuff people call police, or like a cat walking on your swimming pool cover or something like that. We'll chase it away, it's not, doesn't have a bomb on it. What are they doing?
Really?
On the road? Did they pass out trying to get to their car?
Since they don't have a police department anymore?
Well, you get it through the sheriffs, but even when they have a police department, they're always reporting a male laying in the middle of the road or female laying in the yard.
Oh my gosh, we better look out. We might run somebody over.
I know, I have to keep my eyes open.
Is it always a certain location?
The downtown area seems to be, I don't know, like I said, they stagger and then they conk out or something.
There's some bars down there.
Conk out.
There was a, at the Eastwood Mall, and I could never figure out how people wouldn't notice this unless it was at night. People hiding under cars and grabbing people's legs and stealing purses and wallets. But how would you not see someone under your car unless it was dark or maybe you're on your phone or something?
I don't know if it's packed, like if the parking lot's packed, you might not notice someone.
But you think someone would see someone laying under a car when you're walking down to, you know, get in the
People are oblivious.
Well, someone's in water on their phone, not looking, but then if you're going back to your own car, you think someone would grab you by your legs.
I mean, I would think you wouldn't want to. I'd kick you right in the face.
And then this,
I'm a pretty feisty little one. I don't think you'd want to grab my leg.
I'm learning.
people were using, this is another thing that's nutty. People were using mouse and rat trap glue and putting a string attached to it, and putting it into mailboxes, pulling the mail out.
Oh,
stealing
yeah.
checks out.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. That's a good scheme.
But I thought, how
Could
could you?
use that in the office today. We got some stuff stuck down in these mail slots. I couldn't get it out.
But I don't know how they could take the check if it was written out to Spectrum or Dominion Gas or something.
And who puts any cash in the mail anymore? So I don't know how to
Nothing
do that.
shocks
My
me.
mother.
Your mother does.
But she grew up in a time where you could trust the world.
I know, many times I tell her, stop doing it.
She puts cash in her bills.
Well, not to the bills, she sends like my kids cash.
Oh,
I'm like, stop
okay.
sending them cash. They want
Okay.
Venmo.
They want
Give them Venmo. What's Venmo? I'll tell you at
Aw.
Christmas.
Aw.
But see, my grandmothers, I have two grandmothers who were more proper. They even never swear. To them, the word poop was bad. I said, that's not. People say, and I don't think they would have even known the word that happened. She said, no barnyard language. I said, well, poop is not a bad word these days. Watch where you step, the dog may have pooped in the yard or something. Yeah, they was just, we would never have taken the word's name in vain or any of that. It's like, well, I'm not swearing like that. But I think they would be shocked if they heard about people, kids today even. Because I'll be in the stores and like, swearing. What are you swearing about?
I've caught my own kid. That, and I think at least they're respectful enough to not do it to my face.
Right.
But I've heard them and I'm thinking, that's my kid. I just heard that. I would be embarrassed. And I will tell them. I'm like, listen, do you ever hear your mother speak like that? No. I said, well, then you know better. Like, you don't use it around me. Don't use it out there either. You're a reflection of your mom.
But I mean, we're surprised. Like,
Yeah?
you can't tell the story without profanity.
Mm-mm. To me, it just sounds filthy, but I don't know. I guess I've always been proper that way. It's okay
And
for them, but not for you.
Their radios are on so loud, you hear this profanity song filled with profanity. I'm like, we don't need to hear.
I'm pretty sure they don't even know what those songs say.
It's just people screaming into a microphone. That's all I think it is.
That's very, very true.
Because I remember coming a river off at Eddie Money, it was the same way. It was just like, he was screaming into the microphone and his groupies were all there screaming.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm going to run into the restroom. I've got 10 minutes. Hopefully, if they stick to the schedule. If not, I'm late.
No, I think you'll be fine.
That's okay if I'm not. I can proceed.
was at least 100 people in here.
There were people fighting, pushing, swearing, fighting. I remember some guy got squirrels, like, dragged out, and then they escorted some people out here, but all this other stuff. That must have been the worst meeting you ever had.
I just sat here typing. Everybody's like, how on earth are you not like cracking a smile or nothing? I said, I'm a professional. I mean, what else was I gonna say? I'm like, I didn't know what I signed up for.
But I don't know if you ever heard sort of like breath. Then he starts, all the way to the front, oh my God, wait till citizen comments.
He'd start poking the mayor.
I did crack up when he said too many of the cave people are here. I said, it's not the cave people. Citizens against virtually everything. That's a classic. It's the first time everybody's talking about cave people.
I'm gonna use that.
Yep, citizens against virtually everything. And I had to say it, he was right about some of them. They complained about everything. It was a regular group who came down here, but he would kind of go and start, stop, and then I could hear all the,
There were a couple of nights I'd roll in at home at like midnight.
oh, I believe it.
And my wife would look at me and I'd like,
You gotta get up by 6 or something.
yeah. I'm like, I'll tell you all about it in the morning.
I mean, that was the worst. I looked it up and it was almost like a 5.5 points an hour meeting.
Yeah, I think the meeting minutes were like 16 pages
Oh, I
long.
believe it. Yeah, you weren't here when we had 100 people in this room. I mean,
I heard it was in peanut gallery upstairs.
oh yeah, people were out in the lawn fighting.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Oh, it was beyond belief. Now you probably want to have about 3 or 4 pages of it.
Usually about 4.
But citizen comments would take 45 minutes. And what drove me nuts is somebody would ask a question, and then maybe 5 people later, they're asking the same question. I said, aren't you sitting in the second row? Did you hear what they said? But the one councilman was always kind of got people mad. I could hear the rumbling and mad out of the audience, but he said, oh yeah, the cave people are all bad. I said, what's it? Citizens against virtually everything. And they were against everything.
Huh. Well, hopefully it never returns back to that. Is that Barrio? Is he from Ward 3?
1, 2,
Two.
right?
Okay, so no fear that he can.
Yeah, that was in the paper. That was in the paper. His brother was in.
But I remember people would attack the former mayor. This one hasn't really been criticized too much. There were some council members who really got it. Well, there was one councilwoman who put stuff online and people showed me and I was kind of shocked with what she, well, at least they're saying she posted it.
That's a,
Oh, you got a story.
some of the girls will tell me things, and sometimes I read a little bit. If I'm looking for something, I'll read some things in the minutes. But I have tried to not watch any of the council meetings because I feel like it keeps me unbiased as far as everything that's going on. I can kind of just keep a clear head and stay out of it. So if somebody says, hey, have you seen that? No, I really haven't. Sometimes people will share and they'll tell me, some things that to look out for, things that have happened. But
They're probably telling you now it's like paradise.
yeah, it's pretty quiet.
There was a meeting that was like, I think almost a half hour at the most. There were 3 older women who used to come here. They didn't like Mayor Middell for some reason. But one night they said to me, are you TV? I said, no, I work for the newspaper. And I said, you guys come here all the time, but you really never say anything. Oh, this is better than reality TV.
The girls in my office used to sit up in the
Oh,
top,
I know, yeah.
and they would all carry on.
But I used to dread citizens' comments. Now you can know
it was in the minutes that they were scheduled to approve, right?
That's not legit. That could be done at the end of the meeting.
Right, right. See, you're gonna have to be a toughie if that happens.
No, they used to say that because a council member would say,
I don't know.
what's this got to do with the agenda?
I'd look at the law director and he'd nod his head, let it go.
Well, this one's lucky. The last couple of audit used to be raked over the coals by everybody. They just were never happy with anybody.
Yeah, that's a shame. Maybe everything's quiet for
It's
good now.
definitely improved because I don't think people are, the most we had was a big discussion about the marijuana dispensaries. That
Mhm.
kind of drew a crowd and it got heated. But from then on, nothing else this year is really, I mean, I come in here and I'm the only one sitting here. I don't even live in the community. So there was a regular, I like the guy who used to come here and sadly passed away. He kind of was the one who gets the people out of referendums and recalls.
Oh, okay.
That's another thing. We recalled a referendum or things. What type of government is this? You let people get a recall.
Well, the charter, the charter is crazy to try to, like, even with Brenda not being here, what has to happen legally in the process they have to follow, it's so tied up. It's,
Get ready. You're not the only one who's called me. There was always questions about how is this supposed to go to ballot? How is it? I'm so confused.
I think
Like
that
you read-
still goes on a little.
Oh, yeah. I hate the issues on the ballot where the way you read it, if you vote yes, you really mean no. If you vote no, you really mean yes.
I think that should not be allowed.
Right.
That's like
Just say
subterfuge.
confirm or deny
Yes.
or something.
Yes, make it all language that's one direction and ask a plain question. I'm hoping that changes over time, but.
Was your wife worried when you get home those late nights to go, oh, I was on an accident?
No, she was sound asleep. Sound
He's like,
as-
he'll make it happen.
She was sound asleep. No, I used to tell her, and she works out in like Austin town, so there'd be people from Newton Falls that would be in the office, and they'd tell her about it.
I would come back and quote in the paper. She said, they actually said this. And I said, I try and find it for her on her tape so she doesn't have to sit through the whole thing. I said, find citizens' comments. And I said, the sad thing is, when you listen to citizens, we're looking at her acts. So you couldn't really tell who it always was because it would, and how embarrassing it was. You're about to watch the TV. I kept saying, okay, here's the one, get ready. Listen to this one. This is the one where they started fighting.
Oh,
She
wow.
couldn't believe it. She would give them, she'd give them orchids and onions. Orchids for people who do something positive and helpful, and onions for like
The
not
stinkies.
acting as appropriately as officials or not acting appropriately as adults or whatever.
That's terrible.
But yeah, she couldn't believe it. But I tell her, they actually said this. And I said, why can't you print some of the stuff they were using? Oh, and there's. We have people who stood up there swearing.
Yeah, we have to remind them they're not allowed to do that.
I think this year was probably the most calm of, oh yeah. Since 2020, it was just the last few years were horrendous. And the meetings, I'd always be the last reporter back. They tell me, well, that's the first page. And it was like 8:30.
Mhm.
I said, there's 3 pages. I don't know what to do. She said, stay a half hour and then give me a call. And like, I already let her know what's taking place so far tonight. I said, I don't know if they're going to name the chief tonight or they have to address the councilwoman's resignation. I know. She said the appointment to the board, that was fine, but that's not going to be.
Yeah.
But like I said, I would come back and let the meeting takes off.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping maybe it's permanently turned a corner, but that might be.
But you're treated nice. Sadly, the gentleman who's serving there sometimes wasn't always treated nice. By the officials, he was fine, but the audience used to,
Yeah.
they just would attack everybody.
Well, and I think that's the case, and I think if the same individuals were here, they would treat me the same way. So it's possible it could turn a corner, but like I've already told them, if no one stands up for me, if you're making me come and no one stands up for me, that's where you're gonna get my resignation.
There was 1 year, I can't remember what it was, they got rid of 5 major positions.
Mhm.
Finance director, clerk, law director, city manager,
And police chief.
and police chief, yeah. It was wiped out one after the other. And I think that was the issue, and it never was back the same after that. It was just yelling and fighting on this side and this side, and then there was 3 groups. There was 3 groups, everybody, it was like a circus some nights. This group didn't want to do this one, or this, that was.
That's a shame.
But like I said, this room had 100 people. I think we violated the fire code.
I wouldn't be surprised. And see, that's hard because if you're sitting up here, that's a lot of people to kind of, you know what I mean? With making.
They have to keep it in the gavel, or have someone at the podium, please let them speak. And they wouldn't, they were rambling and standing out in the back yelling. And people were trying to leave, and they were fighting in the lobby out here.
Did they have a police department then that kind of kept things under
Well, that was when
control?
they got rid of the police department. We have had police officers here, but not for every meeting. One of the council was afraid of stuff that I had to. I didn't have to say, but there's no reason for it. There's no,
I think
I
that's
mean,
hard.
she knew a friend who lost her son as she was a substitute minister, and I understand her concern, but I said, there's 2 people sitting in the audience. I mean, we're
Well,
not gonna attack anyone.
I just think she definitely was fearful. I think that's weighed into some of what's
Oh, you were here when she was
happened.
wrong, because she was afraid that I said,
She's
That's-
had some family losses here.
Oh,
So I think it's kind of all this. Well,
I heard his house was.
well, and she had said to me that she didn't know, like, they had told her they didn't know for sure if she was going to continue for the end of the year because she should have been on the ballot this last time. So they were seeking legal opinion as to whether she was actually to continue. And I think just that little bit of hope that maybe she was done kind of just changed her mind that maybe she shouldn't be doing this because it, you know, it's impacting her.
I don't know that anybody had hoped that she was done.
No, she did. I think she was just, she had said she really didn't want it. She was expressing that she really didn't want to do it anymore. Nobody else would have said
I
anything
think they were just concerned that
legally.
they had missed something legally
Right,
and
no,
had
I've never heard
invalidated some
anyone
actions,
say-
but
Anything bad, no. Oh, goodness. Yeah, see, I'm not sure that anyone here is posting too much online, but they could be. Really? Are they still posting stuff online, these ones? I don't have a Facebook account.
Believe it or not, people read more than Facebook. That's seriously, more people are reading Facebook than my app. I said, that's just like me, it's like most of the read.
It's just a shame.
But yeah, I've had more people tell me, oh, we don't read newspapers, we read Facebook. That's fine, and tribute to her, but I question the reliability that is.
I really had hoped that Brenda would stay until,
I think she's doing a good job. She did a lot for the parks. I felt bad because they had some vandalism there and some people's breaking and stuff, but she and her husband and a whole bunch of volunteers painted the skate park and did so many things. And they got that mulch playground, and they've been trying to get that for years.
oh, and she really cares, you know what I mean? She has a really good heart. I think it's just the perfect storm for her. You know? I think she had said the same time she'd had her mother-in-law or something like that. And so
Yes, her mother-in-law
So I think, you know what I mean? I think she just has had some loss that is weighing on her. Yeah. Oh, so she was outspoken with them?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
She thanked people who helped her, and she really was, she was afraid that the community was being torn apart. I can't even remember what the issues were.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one year, we did our top 10 stories of falls council, which was top 10. It had to look up what year it was. There was just so much. I always knew when I was coming back from the meeting that I would have front page story.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Well, now you're in the wrong place because I'm not sure you get too many front page
Thank you.
stories here.
Well, tonight, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think what other stuff is going on.
Not, it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot.
But her stepping down and they're looking for a police chief, that would be enough for a story. They were doing a Christmas party in my office and they said, well, save your food. I put it, I should have just ate before I came here.
Yeah.
I thought, no, I gotta get out there. I had to cover another event before this.
Well, now you're not going to get any food.
No, they told me they'll keep it heated for me. But I'm supposed to call them between 8:30 and 9.
How late do they keep you?
Well, my deadline is like 10:30.
Wow.
We have two papers that go out. The first one is an indicator from Olean County,
Yeah.
which isn't me, so I have a little more time than people in Olean. And then the Tribune goes out next. So basically, all my other stuff is done. I have to use the headlines, the photos I took at that Christmas event, and then type this story in. I suspect they'll tell me just do one story tonight and save the other one for Friday. So I'll pick whatever's the biggest discussion about Brenda.
Yeah. I don't, is Brenda
The
on?
agenda itself is really short.
For what?
Well, all they did was vote on it, right? So I think, are they done with Brenda?
They have to vote on whether or not to accept her resignation.
Oh, I thought they did.
No, they just did a motion to
To
add
add
it
it.
to the
Okay.
agenda.
Oh, okay.
All this talking.
Oh, yeah, it should be off.
I don't see any lights on. They're probably still recording you.
But I wondered that one night, because I had to get up and leave, because my boss said, just come back and do what you can. Then I tried to look up online,
Oh.
but when I saw the meeting was still going on after 11 o'clock, I said,
You stayed that late, Mike?
But till when?
After 11 o'clock?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
All right, folks, we're going to move on into item 8.
I'd like to make a motion to exit
Thank you.
executive session.
I'll second that.
Mr. Rufner, Ms. Stimpert,
He's not here yet.
Who's not here?
Axiotis isn't here.
Yeah, Axiotis.
All right,
any discussion?
No.
but we need to wait for him to return.
Well, we have three votes. Do we have to have 4 or just 3?
He
You
is
have to have-
present, he needs to
Yeah,
be.
yeah. We'll give him a minute.
Here he comes. I think, yep.
Just waiting on you. Let's try this again.
All right, Mike, let's try this.
So I'll make a motion that we return from executive session.
I'll second.
Mr. Rufner and Ms. Stimpert, and with Ms. Benitez,
Yes.
Mr. Axiotis,
Yes.
Mr. Rufner,
Yes.
Ms. Stimpert.
Yes.
Pass 4-0, 8:15 PM. Now we go to reports.
Now, we'll go to item 8, reports. Mayor would like to report that this past year in office has been one of the most rewarding things that I've done in my life, and that I am very pleased and proud to serve the people of this town. And I hope to carry this out for the rest of my term. And that's all. Council, Mr. Axiotis? do you have-
Yeah, this is our last meeting for 2024. This is the first year I've been on council. And I want to echo pretty much the same sentiments you just said, that it's been a pleasure to be up here and helping people and helping the city, trying to get the city back on track, trying to just get our name out of the paper. And I feel like we've been doing a pretty good job at that, and I look forward to what 2025 brings. We still have a position on the Treasury Investment Board that we'd like to get hopefully some applicants for. If you're interested, please reach out to any one of us, city manager or whatever, and we'll get your interview set up. But it'd be great to just try to get our boards filled, because I know we have other positions that need filling as well, so.
Ms. Pat?
I guess I'm next. All right, I'm happy about being on the board, and I think the council as a whole has done a great job of being cohesive. We might not agree every time, but still at the end, we come together. We don't fight like we used to. And also, I'd like to thank Bren Persino, who has resigned. Not that she resigned, but I think she did a great job, and she did a lot of studying on what was going on. And Merry Christmas, everybody.
Thank you, Ms. Pat. Ms. Julie, do you have anything for us?
Yeah, just a couple things quick for the fire board. We had our meeting last night for the last one for the year. We're at 2010 runs, which is down about 100 runs from last year. There's multiple reasons discussed for that. I think the main one, or a big one, is that we do not provide mutual aid like we used to, because we are short-staffed. We struggle with staffing just like everybody else around us. So our next meeting will be January 21st. I had this, sorry. I believe the 21st. Yeah, January 21st at 6 o'clock at the Township Hall. And then I would just like to state, this is finalizing my 3rd year on council. And this past year has been amazing. We have had cohesive, collaborative, we've had disagreements, we've had some arguments. Bottom line, whether the decision was what I felt it should be or not, I know everybody's best interest, you know, and they're putting the village and the administration and everything as a priority was everybody's reason for their arguments or discussions or whatever. So I can't thank you guys enough for your leadership and your collaboration and whatnot. I have 1 year to go. I'd like to thank Brenda for her time served on council and wish her the best of luck in her new endeavors as well.
Mr. Rupert, do you have anything?
At this time, no, Mayor, I'm gonna.
Mr. Lembian, do you have anything for us?
I just want to echo everything that everyone has said. I know when I started, it was a confusing time, and there was uncertainty as to whether or not I would fit in, and everyone has made me feel very welcome. And likewise, I'm going to miss Councilwoman Persino. I think she did a tremendous job, and I'm sorry to see her go. Thank you.
Mr. Navarro, oh, I'm sorry. Miss Jamie, I always forget about you.
Yeah.
How do I do
The money person.
I just have a small report. You're more than welcome to read it. There's really not a whole lot here other than we're wrapping up 2024, as everyone has said. So the finance office is just looking for any outstanding invoices, commitments, or anything to be turned into the office so they could be paid prior to year end. There's an update on the income tax situation, and collections are down. You can see the amounts that are in the report that I've enclosed. Hopefully, we get a little bit more in before the end of the year, but we'll see. And then I was informed about the boards and commissions not being paid, or maybe not being paid on time. And so we made sure that we went back to 2023 and paid for the attendance at the ones that were required by charter. So we did 23 and 24 to date. So anyone that has participation should receive those checks if anyone's inquiring. And that's all. Have a Merry Christmas. Thank you.
All right. Mike, do you have anything?
I really have nothing new. I just wanted to let everyone know all the city offices and departments will be closed on Tuesday, December 24th, and Wednesday, the 25th for Christmas. As well, on Tuesday, December 31st, all the departments and offices that are able to will be closing at noon, and then be closed on January 1st for the New Year's. If anyone needs to get a hold of one of the utility departments for an emergency or something like that, utilize the 872-5757 phone number. It will go to the answering service. The appropriate department will be notified, and you will be able to reach them if you have an emergency during any of those times. Also, if anybody needs or has a need to pay their utility bills, they can utilize the drop box that's outside, the night drop box. So other than that, that's all I have for tonight.
Mayor, may I say one thing?
Yes, please.
There's a little snafu that occurred tonight that I just think I think maybe we should make sure that the mics that may have been on when they should have been on when we were in executive session, I just want people who may have been listening to know that if there was a conversation that they heard parts of, they may have been taken out of context, and so I thought maybe we should address that so that it doesn't happen again, because sometimes parts of conversations could be easily misconstrued, and
Yes.
just want to make sure that doesn't happen anytime going
Mr. Heckathorn, if you would please make note of that. And I want to thank you for the great job that you've done over the past year also. You bet. All right, we'll move on to item 8. Item 9, and that will be the approval of previous minutes, and that would be for the regular meeting minutes of December 4th, 2024.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Mr. Rufner and Ms. Benitez?
Correct.
Sorry.
I said correct.
Thank you. Mr. Axiotis?
Yes.
Mr. Rufner?
Yes.
Ms. Stempert?
Yes.
And Ms. Benitez?
Yes.
Passed 4-0.
All right, are there any public hearings tonight? All right. We'll move on to Article 11, unfinished business. All right. And Article 12, new business. And that would be ordinance,
No, motion. There's a motion.
I'm sorry, motion, a motion to discuss the Newton Falls Fire Board applications.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Before the vote, Mayor, I would like to make an amendment. Motion to amend the motion on the table to read a motion to appoint the Newton Falls Fire Board representative.
I'll second that motion. To amend.
Point, it's Mr. Rufner and Mr. Axiotis.
Just for clarification, at this time, do I need to make the nomination as well? Or my nomination as well with that?
I would think you'd want to personally, but that's just me.
Okay. So to go back and specify or clarify the motion, my motion to amend. My motion to amend the motion to appoint Mr. Terry Wentworth as Newton Falls Joint Fire Board representative. Would be my motion.
Okay. We have a motion to amend the motion, started by Mr. Rufner and seconded by
I'll second it.
Mr. Axiotis. So the motion to amend, is there any discussion on the motion to amend?
Please.
We did have 2 applicants, so is the intention that if the motion were to fail or not pass, there would be consideration for the second applicant?
If I may respond, I believe so, because that is an empty spot that needs to be filled for January 1.
That's why I'm saying, because I don't know if the way the motion's been amended would fulfill that.
Mr. Lembian, would you like to weigh in on that?
I would, sir, but I'm confused.
We had 2 applicants for the fire board.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, in executive session, we interviewed both of them. We need a motion, which we kind of have, but maybe we need 2, for the consideration and a vote of council on who to appoint to the fire board. So if you only put one name there, and that were to fail, you don't have anything else on the agenda to appoint or vote on the other person. So I feel there should be 2 motions, personally, to consider both. And if the first motion, if it happens to be whichever applicant passes, then we don't do the second motion. That's how I think we've done it before, when we were appointing people to different positions. So I don't know.
Now I understand, and I would agree with you. I would put 2 motions before the committee, the board, council, and then one could be withdrawn if it becomes unnecessary.
Okay, so if he has this amended one, then do we need to vote on that first, or can I go ahead and say I need to add a motion to appoint?
I would add a motion.
Okay. Are we at a place where I can do that, Mr. Acomb? Or are you completely confused by our craziness as well?
I was a little confused. But I think we have a motion on the floor. Motion was to appoint Terry Wentworth to the fire board. We have a second. This is just a motion to amend the initial motion. So we can vote on that and it will be amended. Afterwards,
She can make the motion
can make a
to
motion
amend
to-
again.
to amend it again to add the second person to it if the other person doesn't get appointed.
Okay, so we're gonna vote, and if it That
On the
doesn't
am-
get passed.
on
then
the
we-
amendment.
Okay.
Mr. Exiotis?
Yes.
Ms. Benitez?
Yes.
Mr. Rufner?
Yes.
Ms. Stemper?
Yes.
Pass 4-0. So it sounds like there would be a motion to amend the amended motion.
And add a second motion to appoint Terry Coons to the fire board.
Okay, so motion to add that motion to appoint Terry Coons is made by Ms. Stemper. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Axiotis, and discussion. Ms. Benitez?
Yes.
Mr. Axiotis?
Yes.
Mr. Rufner?
Yes.
Ms. Stemper?
Yes.
Pass 4-0. So now before you, there is a motion to, essentially it's a motion to appoint Terry Wentworth to the fire board.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Ms. Benitez and Mr. Axiotis. Any discussion there?
Oh, go ahead.
Well, no, go ahead.
I will just say, I've sat on the fire board since I have been at-large representative. Terry Wentworth was on the board as well at a certain time with me. He did a fabulous job. Mr. Coons had a lot of great insight and whatnot, and I think we have two very, very good candidates. And both of them, either one of them would do a fabulous job on the board.
I want to echo basically the same thing. I think for the two candidates we did have for the fire board, my only regret is that there's only one position. I think it's a coin toss for either one. So I thank both applicants for applying.
Good.
The motion is to appoint Mr. Wentworth to the fire board. Mr. Rufner?
Yes.
Ms. Stempert?
Yes.
Mr. Axiotis?
Yes.
And Ms. Benitez?
Yes.
Pass 4-0.
All right, now we're on to ordinance,
Hold up.
oh,
So,
hold up, we're not done
Because
yet.
I did the second motion, can I withdraw it?
Yes.
That's the cleanest, simplest thing, correct?
Yes.
Hold on, gotta clean.
Okay. This is like learning algebra in Chinese at the same time.
Let's bear with us.
That doesn't require a vote. It's just an announcement that she withdraws that motion from the agenda. So that's been heard, and I think we can now move on to ordinance
All right.
2024-52.
All right, this is ordinance 2024-52. This is an ordinance authorizing certain amendments to the appropriations for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2024, and authorizing the finance director to amend and file a certificate of resources with the county auditor.
Make a motion.
I'll second the motion.
Mr. Rufner, Mr. Axiotis.
Any discussion?
I'll go ahead and say it. A lot of this is the end of year closeout, realigning and getting everything set for the FY coming to an end. So as you notice throughout the year, we start the year with very few reappropriations, and as we get closer to the end of the year, it's more and more and more. It's just realigning the expenditures with the fund balances in each account and covering where we need to cover and move those funds to allow those payments for. So.
Ms. Benitez?
Yes.
Mr. Axiotis?
Yes.
Mr. Rufner?
Yes.
Ms. Stemper?
Yes.
Pass 4-0.
All right, next we have ordinance 2024-53. This is an emergency ordinance authorizing the transfer of funds.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Any
Mr.
discussion?
Axiotis and Ms. Benitez?
Please.
I would ask that Jamie just address why this was an emergency and what's needed here.
It's just an emergency to try to align the funds in the street department for any negative balances, because as council has already approved at the beginning of the budgetary process, there was an approval for a $50,000 transfer from the general fund, but I've kind of let it go till the end of the year just to see how much money we've collected in income taxes that we can put into the street fund so that maybe we can keep the balances as close as possible to what was actually appropriated for each department. So I've, instead of going for the $50,000, I left it at 15 on this, and even that's gonna be probably not what's gonna transfer at the end of the year. It's just to give me enough to cover any balances that I need.
Thank you.
All right,
Mr.
pub, oh, I'm sorry.
Vote. Mr. Axiotis?
Yes.
Ms. Benitez?
Yes.
Mr. Rufner?
Yes.
Ms. Stemper?
Yes.
Pass 4-0, and this requires a second reading.
Okay, ordinance 2024-53. An emergency ordinance authorizing the transfer of funds.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Mr. Axiotis and Ms. Benitez. Further discussion? Mr. Rufner?
Yes.
Ms. Stemper?
Yes.
Mr. Axiotis?
Yes.
Ms. Benitez?
Yes.
Pass 4-0.
Article 13 is
Oh,
public,
oh, oh.
wait a minute.
No.
What we got?
So
We got a
we had
motion
two
on that?
motions that were added
We have two motions.
during changes.
Okay,
So the first motion, if I may read it,
please.
a motion to accept the resignation of Brenda Persino as Ward 3 council person.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Mr. Rufner and Mr. Axiotis. Any discussion?
Mayor?
Yes, please.
If I can, I'd just like to say that, it's unfortunate that Ms. Persino, it will be stepping down and resigning from the position. I fully understand why. There's been a lot going on, and I can respect her decision. I just want to say I appreciate the time she spent up here, the 100% good intentions on everything that she approached. And, I hope people out there recognize and understand just how much she put into bettering this community, whether they've seen it or not. So, again, Ms. Persino, much appreciated, and thank you.
Comments? Ms. Benitez?
Yes.
Mr. Axiotis?
Yes.
Mr. Rufner?
Yes.
And Ms. Stemper?
Yes.
Pass 4-0. The second motion that was added was a motion to reappoint Brian Kropp to the Planning and Zoning Commission effective January 1st, 2025, and lasting for 5 years, expiring on December 31st, 2029.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Ms. Benitez and Mr. Axiotis. Any
Yes,
discussion?
please.
I just reiterate, we had pointed him, like I believe 2 or 3 meetings ago, since then, planning and zoning has not held any meetings. The term he was appointed to did expire, will expire the 31st of 2024. So did reach out and spoke with him. He was interested in continuing on. So I'm just putting this motion forward to reappoint him to fill the open position on January 1st.
Ms. Benitez?
Yes.
Mr. Axiotis?
Yes.
Mr. Rufner?
Yes.
Ms. Stempert?
Yes.
Pass 4-0.
Okay, now we're on to Article 13, public comments. And we'll go into closing remarks. I have no closing remarks. Council, Mr. Axiotis?
I did want to say, echo the same sentiments everyone's said about Brenda. We may have not always saw eye to eye on everything, but she came here with the best of intentions. And sometimes, real life takes importance over everything else, and I understand her situation. I just want to say thank you for being here, helping us out, and doing what you've done, because it's been a lot. We've been trying to untangle a lot of mess that's been left, and I think we're trying to do a pretty good job at it as best as possible. So thank you, Brenda. I appreciate it.
Merry Christmas.
Ms. Julie?
I'm just gonna ditto everything that was said about Brenda. She put her whole heart into, helping, trying to do best for our village and our parks and recs, and I appreciate that and appreciate her for that. And I do wish her well. And then, lastly, just Merry Christmas. Everybody stay safe and enjoy your families.
Mr. Rufner, you have anything?
Nothing further, Mayor, thank you.
All right, Miss Jamie?
Oh, nothing at this time, thank you.
All right, and Mr. Lembian?
I'm good, sir, thank you.
Okay. Mr. City Manager, sir?
Just that it's been great working with everybody this past year. I think we have gotten a lot of things accomplished, but there's a lot more to do. Everybody's working towards doing the best they can and getting things going the right way. Like to echo the same, it's been great to work with Brenda Persino. Hate to see her go. I also understand life does go on and you have to do what you have to do. And just wish everybody Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Thank you, Mike. All right, if there's nothing else, we will adjourn the meeting.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Mr. Axiotis and Ms. Benitez? Mr. Rufner?
Yes.
Ms. Stempert?
Yes.
Mr. Axiotis?
Yes.
Ms. Benitez?
Yes.
Pass 4-0, 8:42 p.m.
Did you see him? He looked and then looked away. I didn't mean to.
But he was ready to swing it when.
I know,
when
but I didn't
Brian-
have to give the monologue.
You ain't got a thing if you ain't got the swing, baby.
He turned and didn't touch it. I was so proud of him. Hi.
We offline?
We'll start advertising.
Why the lights weren't muted during executive session? I didn't know if they were supposed to be. They're always muted during executive session. I didn't figure they had to.
The third ward advertised was the,
They need to be muted during executive session from now on.
and then, thank you. Three people were in it. That's just.
I'm going to ask the obvious
This is
question.
preliminary, yep. We have
Probably worthy of
three
discussion,
very good
but what was
Are
said,
these
is there anything that I got to worry about?
Are these currently employees or?